that smells good. Salisbury steak dinner. That's what's on tonight's menu. How did we get here? Hang on tight and let me show you here on Cook. Don't be lazy. So this yummy goodness that we just saw is a result of this. Very few ingredients. Some ground beef. I'm using 80-20. An egg. Beef bouillon cubes. Some Worcestershire sauce. Some breadcrumbs. Onion mix. An onion. Salt, pepper, cornstarch. And red top milk. None of that blue stuff. I don't want that skim milk. I want that whole milk. So let's start putting all of this together. Take about a 1/4 cup of milk. Whole milk again. Not that skim milk because we ain't trying to skimp on flavor. Breadcrumbs. About that much. I don't know how much that is. Maybe half a cup's worth. 1 egg. Worcestershire sauce. About that much. I don't know, that might have been about 2 tablespoons. A couple of puffs of pepper. I said a couple, make that a few. We want flavor. Some salt. And our onion mix, which is this guy here. Throw that bad boy in. Whisk it. Mix it. Ground beef. This is about 1 pound of ground beef. I don't need to whisk anymore. And let's get our hands dirty. That's all we're going to do is mix this in together. We're not going to overdo it. We just want to make sure we soak up all that yummy goodness into the beef. Make sure it's all well incorporated. And then take a chunk and start forming your patty. You don't want your patty too thick. You want the inside to cook properly, so you don't want to make a 4-inch thick patty. That's about a 1-incher right there. So I'm going to shape it into a Salisbury steak, kind of oval-ish. I'm going to finish doing the rest. So 1 pound of meat equated to about 3 decent size patties. Set your burner to about a 6 and get yourself a nice sized pan that's going to fit your patties. Just a little bit of veggie oil. I don't think we really need the veggie oil, but I'm just going to be on the safe side. When I say a little, I mean more than just a drop. Alright. That much. I just want to make sure the ground beef doesn't stick. It shouldn't stick because it's got its own fat. But I want to be on the safe side. Let me get that mixed in. I'm going to let that preheat for a minute. I think it's hot enough now. Let's find out. Take your patty, and if you hear the sizzle, oh yeah, it's ready to go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to leave this alone for 2 minutes. So let it fry for 2 minutes. Then we're going to flip it. And that's all we're looking to do. We're looking to brown. Look at that beautiful brown crust. That's all we're trying to do. We're trying to brown. We're not trying to fully cook it. So cook the other side for 2 minutes. Then, we're going to take a plate. Take our patties off. Put the plate off to the side. We're going to keep this little bit of yummy flavor in there. I want you to dice up 1 onion. Get that thrown in there. And we're going to cook this for about 3 minutes or so. We're pretty much just looking for most of the onion to turn a little translucent, which most of them are, so that's fine. We're still going to continue to cook this down, so we don't have to be perfect with translucent onions all across the board. Take about 1.5 cups of water, 3 beef bouillon cubes, we're going to bring this back to a boil, so I'm going to bring my temperature up to about an 8 for a few minutes. So now that it's come to a nice little simmer, give it a quick mix. Those bouillon cubes should break up by themselves. Alright, let's go ahead and add our patties back in. I'm just going to pour some of this broth over them. Set your stove to a 1.5, and let's cover it up. So we're going to let that simmer for about 45 minutes. Now's a good time to make your sides, whatever you think goes good with Salisbury steak. I'm going to probably make some mashed potatoes. Now we do have the cornstarch we need to add, but that's not till the very end. So for now, I'm going to drink some milk and make a side. So right around that 45-minute mark, we got to start thinking about turning our broth into a gravy. So that's where the cornstarch comes in. Take about a 1/4 cup of water. Is that all I got in there? Nope, got more. Just slowly coming out. About 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And whisk it. Now to me it looks like I need a little bit more. I want just a little bit better, but I'm just about out. Come on. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at my beautiful nails, by the way. Woo! I got some purty nails. Anyways, let's focus. I am just about out of cornstarch. So that's what's going to have to do. Whisk it. And let's put it into our Salisbury steak. Looking good. Now do yourself a favor. Do not try to take a shortcut and put the cornstarch in. I'm going to bring up the temperature to about a 5 for a minute. Do not take a shortcut and try to put the cornstarch into a hot broth. Won't work. Don't do it. Don't try it. So I'm going to move my steaks around, stir this up a bit, And that sauce will slowly start to thicken up. And that's how we got to this point. The only thing left to do, time to plate up.